Hello, welcome to another Gundam Operation 2 video. That is the new suit, the Gelgoog Vertex Xanthos, I believe that's what it's called. Or the Gelgoog Zans, if you will. And that is our new 600 support. And man, we've been getting a lot of 600 suits lately. And yeah, another Gelgoog Vertex. And just like how the Gelgoog Xanthos was the first general with Quick Turn, this is the first support with Quick Turn. And we'll see how that does in these two matches I have for you. They're both rating matches, and they're both, I believe, this match here was the third match I played with the suit. I didn't play a whole bunch when the suit came out because since I have been jumping up in rating quite a bit, rating's been kind of schizophrenic where we had like people want to play more supports for some reason. This didn't happen with the Xanthos and the other suits that came before this recently, where nobody wanted to pick the Xanthos, and then this suit comes out, everybody wants to pick it, but at the same time, people want to win, and so it was just this constant back and forth of people leaving, more people joining, 4 people want to be supports, and then more people leaving, you know, typical rating stuff. So yeah, it was very schizo, so I couldn't really get a good match with this suit, so yeah, this first match was the second day, or, well, technically be the first day it came out, and the second match is later on. And I kind of went through it pretty but there were some interesting things from that second match that that you'll probably see. But yeah, let's go ahead and get to the stats. I did mention this is a 600 support, and let's start with the stats. You have well, I didn't mention we're gonna get in the stats. Oh, my bad. 20,000 health with 28 ballistic and beam resistance. You have 10 melee resistance, 35 range strength with 25 melee strength, 115 movement speed with 200 boost speed. I believe that actually makes this without adding any mobility parts, this is the fastest boost speed support right now, 600, which is quite nice. You have 75 thruster gauge and 69 turning speed. Nice. And yeah, that does turn into 78 in space. And for slots, you have 15 close, 16 mid, and 13 long range slots. And yeah, quite a few builds you can do with this because of how the weapons on this suit work, and you know, with quick turn being on this suit. You can make this suit pretty tanky. I've seen people do, you know, they build up their beam, they build up their melee to have like what, I think the max you can put on is 30 something melee resistance. So you can do that if you want to. I've seen thruster gauge builds because this thing does have quick turn, and that will, you will tank stuns with it, so that is quite nice, or instant stuns I should say. So that's a thing you can do as well. I think for me, both of these matches, I buffed up my my beam resistance, and I did buff up my range strength because this thing does have, I believe, yeah, the same skill that the Gelgoog JN has, which I mean this suit is pretty much is the Gelgoog JN in some ways. It has the same skill where it does do more damage when it's scoped in, 30% more actually. So, but yeah, so there's a few builds you can do with this, so quite good. And as I said, 200 boost speed. This is currently the fastest without any parts on it. The fastest support at 600, which is, again, that's really helpful for catching up with a team or staying with a team. We all have been in situations where we picked a support on Arctic base or some other map, and we just get left behind and murdered, so pretty good for the suit. Now for your weapons here, starting off the primary, you have the GVX Hyper Mega Launcher, which is 2,850 damage with a 95% heat rate with 500 range, and you can charge this. And yeah, it takes a little bit to ready up, but yeah, it does a pretty chunky hit. You do have to stand still while firing this, and if you do charge it, it does a continuous beam, and it will do a normal stagger. It won't heavy stagger, at least from what I've observed, and you know, from getting hit by it. It will do a normal stagger, and without zooming in, I believe you can get like 4k, 5k damage, but if you zoom in, I have, maybe because, you know, with my range strength added on, I've gotten up to 10k damage with the continuous charge beam of the Hyper Mega Launcher. Now it does overheat if you do that, so be careful, but that is, again, a lot of potential damage there, and it will penetrate, of course. So yeah, a nice primary weapon so far. Next weapon here for your primary is the melee weapon. You have the Gelgoog V Beam Naginata, which is 2,600 damage. And you do, even though you have 25 melee strength, and only one melee swing, you do some decent damage. Like, I think I've gotten 4k, and I think in the next match 5k on a general from doing down swings. So yeah, combined with some of the skills the suit has, yeah, you can do some pretty good combo damage into that melee. So that's pretty helpful, you know, nice. And you do have two melee priorities, so you can clash with a lot of generals on this, or well, a lot of generals in the game, and I think even a raid like the Night Seeker. So, so yeah, there's that. Next weapon here, well, actually, you're going to secondary weapons now. You have the Backpack Missile Pod, which is 400 damage per shot, 8 rounds, and 500 range, and it takes, I believe, 5 hits to stun from the missiles, which not too great considering that with some missiles it'll take like 4. You know, that way you can kind of conserve ammo for another stun. But it does do some decent damage. It is ballistic, and you are support, so you'll be doing some a good chunk of damage against generals, right? Especially those with low ballistic resistances. You can boost while using these as well, so you can certainly boost towards somebody, and if you do get a stun, you can go into a melee situation, or you can use it to back up from a raid. You can shoot at the raid with that, or you know, you can do the other Gelgoog Vertex combos where you do a downswing, back up and shoot missiles at them, and then come back in for another melee strike, which is quite helpful. So yeah, decent weapon here. Next weapon is the GVX Beam Rifle, which is 1,500 damage, 40% heat rate, 550 range, and you can charge it. And this is just the, I believe it's the same beam rifle that the JN has, except of course it's reworked to be different in how it fires. You can rapid fire this quite a bit. I think like what, 4 or 5 times. Unfortunately, the stun accumulation is quite low. It doesn't even stun by itself. Accumulation wise, so you can use that for damage because again you can rapid fire it. You can boost and move while charging this, which is different from the Gelgoog JN's rifle, where I believe you have to stand still to fire that or charge it up. So that's actually quite good as well. And of course, if you do charge it up, it will penetrate and it will do some significant damage. And of course, if you zoom in, that'll be even more damage. So yeah, pretty nice. I think even in the next match, I do make use of that penetration at one point where I shoot through a teammate who's flying, so that way he has shock dampener, so he's not gonna get stunned. So yeah, pretty nice weapon here. You can do constant damage, or you can get the charge off. And if you do charge this up, that will be that can be a good initial starting stun. And I'll get into that here in a second when we get to the other weapons that you have. Next weapon is the GVX Beam Rifle Connection, which is 2,200 damage, 95% heat rate, and 500 range. And if you notice the beam rifle on your shoulders there, yeah, it's kind of like the Gelgoog VD. You have a beam rifle on your shoulder that will get you a stun. And yeah, that you shoot somebody, they get stunned. Pretty nice. Decent damage on it. And you can combine it. It has a fast ready-up time as well, I should say that. And of course, 500 range, so you do have some decent range on that. Not even decent, yeah, that's good range for that kind of weapon to stun lock people with at range, along with your Hyper Mega Launcher and even your beam rifle. But hey, before we get any further, mission completed. Let's see how we did in this match. And hey, top individual, top assist, not a whole lot. It was very reserved this match, but it is Supply Depot. People tend to be a little bit more careful from what I've experienced on this map, how they approach, it's not Arctic base, but hey, first place, 3-3, and almost 80,000 damage. Could have done a lot better, but hey, I got first place. Next match, I'm not going to do as well, unfortunately. I feel like I should be taking a lot more pictures, which that's my fault, but yeah, enjoy this match. And yeah, going on to the next weapon here, you have the GVX Beam Rifle Grenade Launcher, which is 900 damage with 1 round and 200 range. And yeah, this is a basic grenade launcher, except it's on your beam rifle that's on your shoulder there. So it has a different firing angle than usual. And of course, it is a ballistic weapon, so you'll probably get like 1,000 damage on a general. I think that guy took 1,200. So yeah, you can do some decent damage. And again, another chance for a stun lock here. Now, if you combine all of these stun locks, you have potentially 4 stuns to work with. which is crazy. I think I might have done that to the guy I was shooting at earlier, the Stark Jagan. But yeah, that's definitely a huge benefit for this suit, which I'll get into here in a second. Next weapon here is, it's not even really a weapon, it's the 3-barrel scope, which is 0 damage, 3 rounds, and 750 range. And yeah, that's just the how you take pictures. You snap a pic, and hey, you see an icon of the suit, and of course it'll show you like what color they are for what class they are. You know, blue general, yellow support, red raid. And it's very wonky to hit at far range, but at close range you should be able to hit it consistently. And you know, that will alert your teammates. And because this thing, I think every suit that can take a picture does share this skill, where if you do take a picture, the enemy will take 3% more damage, which is, you know, like quite nice. You know, it is extra damage, so that's nice. You know, you get to see what the enemy is, where they're at, and yeah, you'll do a little bit more damage to them. So nice. Next weapon, well, not really a weapon, it's a shield. It is the GVX shield, which is 3,500 health, and it's considered a pretty small shield. Yeah, this is very similar to the Gelgoog Vertex and the Gelgoog Xanthos, where, yeah, it's just, sometimes you hardly even notice it's there. It is a shield, but sometimes it will help. But most of the times, you're probably not going to get shot there, to be honest. Or you'll get one shot and then you don't have it anymore. But hey, I mean, if it does work, it does work. Now onto the skills. You have radar level 3, you have scope level 3, data link, you have aerospace gimbal level 2, you have balancers, and back level 2, you have quick turn, as we mentioned before. Quick turn, if you guys aren't familiar, well, I did have the initial thoughts on the Xanthos, so for those who are now new to the channel, I guess, the quick turn, if you press the touchpad button while boosting, you have to be boosting. You can't do it in midair either. You will do a turnaround, and while you're doing the turnaround, you can tank stuns, but you will take 30% more damage. So there's a little bit of a risk and reward going on there. But if you do time it, you can do some situations where you can save yourself from getting stunned and then bullied, or perhaps you know, that can allow you to get close for a melee attack. Like if you're going out to bait somebody doing a tackle, you don't get stunned from the tackle, and you can follow up with something else, or you know, a lot of things you can do with it. Or you're getting chased, you can turn around and then boost the other direction to get away from the person. So you know, there's some applications for it. You do have force injectors level 2 as well, so you can boost, combine with the balancers, you can boost back and forth, front and back, do quick turn, go into your melee, you know, all that good stuff. Yeah, precision analyst system, which I believe that is what lets you, if you take a picture, it will do 3% more damage to somebody. You know, if they get the picture taken of them. You have damage control level 2, so you don't have anything for instant stuns. I guess you want to count quick turn as a defensive option. That means if with damage control, accumulation stuns will take longer to stun you. Let's say if you're getting fired at by let's say just a gem with a beam spray gun that somehow stuns you in 3 hits. Well, now it's going to take more hits to stun you. So there you go. So you can survive. You don't get stunned by stun accumulation as easily as other suits, which is quite nice for how big the suit is. But just be careful. There's quite a few suits at 600 that do have instant stuns, and quite a few. So just be careful how you approach people. You have leg buffer level 2, back binder cushioning level 3, which I believe that's where your shoulders are, the big shoulders, not the, well, I guess say the backpack shoulders. I believe that's 30% less damage when you get hit there. And you do have scouting device that will let you zoom in further, you know, when you're sniping. And you have precision sniping, and that will let you do 30% more damage on all your range attacks while you're zoomed in. And if you hit somebody that has a broken head or broken legs, you will heavy stagger them. And that part of the skill is a little bit iffy, because usually by the time somebody's legs are broken, I'm not even counting heads at this point, heads rarely get broken. If you're fighting somebody that has their legs broken, they're pretty much going to die in the next few seconds. So the heavy stagger, maybe if the enemy's far enough away, then sure. But yeah, the 30% more damage is the big part about that. And trust me, it makes a difference when you hit somebody. Like the regular uncharged version of your beam rifle will do like 2,000 damage per hit, so you can spam 2,000 damage attacks pretty easily, and then combine it with your other weapons, or if you're using your mega launcher, yeah, you can do 10k damage. So that's quite nice. But yeah, that's it for the Xanthos, the Gelgoog Vertex Xanthos, and I gotta say, I kind of like this suit. Of course, it has some decent downsides, which I'll go ahead and start with that. The pros and cons. I'll start with the cons. This suit is a pretty sizable suit. It's already a Gelgoog, which is a pretty easy suit to hit, and then you add on re-Gelgoog shoulders on the back of it. Oh, hey, by the way, here's that combo I was talking about. I think I mentioned a combo. Yeah. That does a lot of damage. Then I managed to sneak in another neutral swing, so that nearly killed the Z2. But yeah, this suit is pretty easy to hit. A raid that jumps this suit probably will have an easy time if they're close enough to it to get an instant stun. There are moments I've had where I actually did avoid a raid by using my quick turn. I do take more damage, which, depending on what you're doing, you probably don't want to take that extra 30% more damage. Like, if you're already about to die, it doesn't really matter what you do, you're going to die anyway. But if you're at full health, it's nice to tank a stun. But yeah, if you don't have the chance to do a quick turn, you can get caught, you can get stunned, and you can get meleeed pretty easily. This thing does have 10 melee resistance. So yeah, pretty low melee resistance. You're a big suit. Still pretty easy to get stunned, with instant stun weapons, and of course low melee resistances. So yeah, so raid shouldn't have a problem with you. Some generals even, they can just stun you over and over again. But for the upsides here, the pros, this suit does have potentially 4 different stuns for a stun lock going for it. I mean, if you start with the charged beam rifle, yeah, that's 1 stun. Go straight into the, oh, hey, before we go into that, timeout. Let's see what we got at the second match here. And it's going to go by pretty fast. I'm sorry about that. Mission completed. Let's see what we got going on here. Hey, top assist, nice. And I believe we get 5th place, like 0 and 2, which, yeah, I could have done a lot better. But, hey, I mean, at least I did, I got halfway there. We did win at least. But yeah, anyway, back to the combo you can do. You can do like charged beam rifle straight into to the shoulder cannon, into the I guess you're gonna pull up either the high mega launcher or the grenade launcher, and yeah, that'll be 4 stuns. And because of how versatile it can be at achieving those stuns, I mean the high mega launcher and the shoulder beam gun, they both have 500 range, so you can combo into those. That's already 2 stun locks right there. Yeah, just a stun lock right there. You can get right into the high mega launcher, straight into the shoulder cannon. There you go. There's a stun. If you're at close range, you can do the shoulder cannon into the grenade launcher. There you go. There's a stun right there at close range. And you can save your high mega launcher before they do a dodge roll or something like that. There's a lot of versatility in how it can get its stuns off at different ranges. It does have a not really a stun accumulation with the missile pods. You can boost towards somebody, get a stun that way, or you can just add damage with it. The damage potential is really good on this suit. Again, 4 different ways to stun. A good way to build up damage with the beam rifle and the missiles. It does have the ability to take a picture of somebody, and it can zoom in to get even more damage off. So the damage potential is there. It has a lot of ways to attack at different ranges. You can play this long range, mid range. It'll be hard, but you can do close range. You can play a pretty mean supporting support. I was about to say supporting general like the Keanos, but supporting support, your support is what you're meant to do. And of course, the quick turn is pretty useful if you do manage to get it off, but it's not a super reliable thing because you will take 30% more damage. So it'll be fine against generals, but if you're fighting a raid, it's going to help you die faster if you fuck up against them, But yeah, I think that's going to be it for this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe if you want. I'd really appreciate it. And, you know, type up in the comment section how you feel about the Gelgoog Vertex Xanthos. And I gotta say, it's a pretty nice suit. I feel like I can do quite well with it if given the chance. Because again, the way the suit is size-wise, it can be pretty easy to bully depending on how your team is and how the enemy team is. But hey, if you give this thing a chance, it does take a mile. Oh well, I fucked up the description for that. I can't think of the word for no. It's supposed to be if it takes an inch, it'll take a mile. So I think it's pretty good in the right hands. But compared to some other 600 suits, I can see why some people would skip over this, because there are some really good 600 suits already support-wise. And this is just another one on top of that. So there's quite a healthy choice of supports at 600 for people to pick. And I don't blame anybody for skipping this one. But if they don't have a 600 support, or you know, maybe they want to try out something else, something different, hey, this suit is right here. And yeah, I do recommend you guys roll for this. I think they have a 15% off roll. So, hey, that's 15 tokens. You can potentially get the suit. So, I think it's worth at least that. But yeah, I think that'll be it. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.